I just had to let you know you're mine. Hands on your body, I don't wanna waste no time. Feels like forever, even if forever tonight. Just lay with me.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Golden, back on the fucking patio with another fucking video. Okay, this video that I'm doing today is going to be a part of basically a part 1, 2, and 3. I thought that it would be cool to, like, with the mindset that I have now, the wisdom and the experience that I have now, to go back and backtrack every time that I fell in love, or that I thought I fell in love. Nah, but every time that I fell in love 3 times, and see, you know, how 18, almost 19-year-old Golden feels about that, because, you know, I'm not 14 no more, I'm not 15 no more, and I'm not 17 no more. So we're gonna start in numerical order, okay? We're gonna start with the first one. We're gonna start with the first one. I don't like that nigga. Okay, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So let's get into it. And there was this boy. I was just getting off of basketball practice, and at the same time football would practice too. So everybody, all the athletes were like sitting outside waiting on their parents, or like, you know, just chilling and hanging out with their friends before they got in their car and left. So at this point I had just got a Snapchat. I had just got a Snapchat, and there was, the football players were out there, and there was one boy in particular. He was laughing, cracking jokes, dancing. He was just like the life of the little group that they was having. So I started to record him. I recorded him and I put him on my Snap and stuff, and I left because I was just recording him because it was funny, and, you know, recording the group and stuff like that. So then I got in the car, left. I think it happened again the second time. So the third time that this happened, because he was always laughing, always dancing, always hyping the group up, and they was always doing something, and I just thought the shit was funny, so I recorded it. So the third time it happened, he comes up to me, he was like, "You be recording me, don't you?" And I'd be like, "Yep." And he was like, "Well, you see, I was a little player, but I didn't really, like, look at him like that at first, so I really wasn't peeping the game." He was like, "Well, in order to post me on your story, I need to be friends with you on Snapchat." So I guess that was his little way of asking me for my Snap. So I gave him my Snapchat, and then that was that. I wound up telling my friend, I was like, "Oh, he's kind of cute, kind of like him, kind of cool. And he's goofy, and I'm a goofy individual, and I'm always doing something very fucking random." So, you feel me? It just kind of worked out. Fast forward a little bit. We wound up figuring out we have the same off period. So, as a freshman, you weren't really allowed a full off period until, like, second semester. You had a freshman seminar class, which was just telling you, like, about the school and what you could do, blah, 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 going over your grades and stuff like that, for the first 45 minutes, and then the rest of the time you had your free time or whatever. So we had the same off period. So me and him started hanging out on my off periods all the time, and he would walk me to class. We'd run into each other in the hallway and stuff. So I was starting to like him. I was. We started hanging out, walking around the school, doing whatever, and we had got to the point where it had been like 2-3 weeks or whatever, and probably like 2-3, maybe 4-ish weeks. And at this point, you know, you're walking me to class, we're kissing each other like in private or whatever. Mind you, I'm 14 at the time. Had no business talking to any nigga. But this one was the one that kind of like, okay, I want that one. So I'm gonna go with the flow type shit. And then one day we were sitting there and I was just like, what we doing? You know, like, what the fuck we doing? Like, I'm not just the type of girl to just, oh, we just gonna be hugging up on each other, kissing up on each other, and doing all this couple shit, basically. You treating me like, because, you know, you got friends and you got girlfriends. You treating me like a girlfriend-ish, walking me to class, holding my shit, stuff like that. So it's like, what we doing? And he politely said, he was like, honestly, I'm really not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for a relationship. Yada yada. You know that shit people be telling you when they don't want to, you know the same shit. He told me that. So I'm like, cool, because I'm an understanding chick. And honestly, like I said, I was a little player. So it wasn't that deep. It just wasn't that deep. So at that point, after we had that conversation, because he was like, oh, I don't want to hurt you, and I know I'm not looking for a relationship, and yada yada yada, I was just like, okay, cool, you know, I understood. I went on about my merry way. It was like I stopped seeing him. He just disappeared. I didn't see him in the halls no more. Nothing, like, for a good 2-3 weeks. So one day I'm coming out of my little freshman seminar class, and it's like probably 10-15 minutes before I get my off period. Well, half of my off period. I run into my friend. This nigga, I'm talking about straight violation on the bro code, all of that. He snitching. He like, hey. I'm like, hey. And he's like, what's up with you and so-and-so? And I'm like, what you mean? Cause like, you know how you be. I was straight capping. I tried to X that nigga out my life like it never even happened. Like those couple of weeks just did not happen. Fuck it. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, what you mean what's going on with us? There's something going on with us. He was like, oh, I was just wondering because, you know, like y'all was always around each other, always together. And, you know, he talking to that girl in his class. Oh, okay. So, you know, me, I'm acting like the shit don't bother me. But it bothered me just a little bit because I was just like, nigga, that's why you disappeared, if we're being honest. Like, 14-year-old me and 18-year-old me both realized, like, that's why you disappeared. Because it's one thing to be like, you're not looking for a relationship. We still built a little connection, a little friendship or whatever. So we could have been friends, but you completely disappeared. Like, I didn't see you at all. Like, you would have thought the nigga transferred schools type shit. Didn't see him anymore after practice, nothing like that. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense, you know, once you stop giving your attention to someone, giving it to someone else, you feel me? So I'm like, oh, that's cool, da-da-da. So that nigga just like, we had a whole straight 5-minute conversation. That nigga was snitching, let me know the tea, and I was like, cool. Because I didn't ask about him, I didn't bring it up. I was just like, what's up, bro? And he's like, what's up? What's up with you and so-and-so? Cool, copy. So we wound up, I go back to the little class, get my shit, and I'm coming out. As I'm walking downstairs, guess who the fuck I see? So at this point, I'm laughing because I just find it really ironic. I thought that shit was funny. So he come up to me. At this point, nigga, I know what you've been doing and who you've been doing it with in your little science class. He basically winds up, and we talking and stuff. I don't remember who brought it up, but basically he said that, you know, he realized that shorty wasn't his type and she wasn't what he wanted, and he realized what he wanted. Cool. Honestly, that was red flag number one. That set the tone for the whole damn situation that we was in. That set the tone. I should have, looking back on it, 14-year-old me just didn't pay attention. I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck. But looking back on it, that nigga in the way beginning, you know, put you off on the back burner to go be with another female, to talk to another female. So the fact that you even let that nigga come back, you set the tone. You, as in me, I set the tone for that whole shit. Can't blame nobody but myself. I won't. I take full responsibility for the bullshit that I put myself through my freshman year. So we go back to hanging out, being cool, getting closer, learning more about each other, kissing and doing what we was doing in the beginning type shit with my dumb ass. Doing what we was doing in the beginning. And my friend had to leave. So me and the girl still talking. We wound up playing Never have I ever. So we found out some interesting things. So I said, never have I ever. And she was like, boo. And I was like, oh, you have? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, with who? Because I'm nosy as fuck. And we talking, we getting to know each other. So she tells me him. And I'm like, who? My God, bitch. Like, then we go into talking and I'm telling her what I just told y'all. And then we go back and we start walking to the cafeteria. And we get in the cafeteria and we see him and another girl. We became like really cool. And this is when me and him started talking again, started hanging out, started doing whatever, blah, blah, blah. So now, mind you, a couple weeks have passed. After we meet them in the cafeteria, a couple weeks have passed. We always together at breakfast. We're always together during lunch. We all hang out on our off periods, all of that. Just like a group of us, all being cool, getting close. And then I found out that he got a girlfriend. Mind you, he was telling me he didn't want a girlfriend and didn't want to hurt me and blah, 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 blah. So he got a girlfriend. Come to find out, it was shorty that he told me that he didn't vibe with, that he didn't, that's not what he wanted. Blah, blah, blah. So they start dating, cool, whatever. Fast forward earlier, because at this point our friendship has just turned into a friendship. There was no more kissing or touching or anything like that. We were just goofing around and just being friends and being cool and laughing, cracking jokes and doing all that. So one day it's me, him, my friend who introduced me to the girl who's my sister. That's what I'm gonna just call her because it's easier that way. My sister. And the other girl and him, and we all have the same off period. We wind up going to Utah. But on the way to Utah, we went to 7-Eleven. So at this point, all of a sudden, we start flirting and stuff like that. So there's flirting that's happening. Going to the park, and we like bored. What should we do? What should we do? Someone said we should play a game. This is that stupid shit. Because at this point, I should have knew that it was a setup. It was a setup. Playing 7 Minutes in Heaven. So I'm like, nigga, there's 4 girls and 1 guy. How does this even work? So my friend and my sister got paired off. And me and him got paired off. So I'm thinking, we just gonna go over there and talk. Sit over there like everybody else did because it was 2 girls and whatever. So I'm thinking we're just gonna talk. As soon as we get over there, ducked off in the cut, can't nobody see us or anything. Jit kissed me. He kissed me. Like, I'm talking about on my mouth. And I'm like, I'm shocked. Like, I'm shook. Like, I'm like frozen. And it's like, I don't even have control over what the fuck I'm doing no more. Like, I don't have control over my body, but in my mind, I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on here? I'm not understanding. I'm so confused. So we wound up like, I backed him up like, whoa. Hold on, nigga, shit. Damn, like, what the fuck is going on? And he's just looking at me and I'm like, you got a girlfriend. And Jit looking at me confused. Like, I think in that moment that nigga forgot he had a girlfriend. So I'm like, the fuck? And then it was just like, bad decisions was made. We were over there for a while. We wound up being over there for a minute. It was a very intense makeout session because after I had acknowledged the fact that he had a girlfriend and he acknowledged the fact that he had a girlfriend, it was like that moment of acknowledgement was kind of like either take it or leave it. And so I guess we both left it because at that time I can't act like it's not like I didn't. Because at this point, like, yes, I got feelings for him and I care about him and, you know, he's my friend. And so it was just like, I was kind of like confused and my dumb ass just made a bad decision, a decision that I shouldn't have made. When I tell you, honestly, this is the one thing that I regret, like, honestly, one thing that I regret. And this experience taught me so much. It taught me so much about myself and about everything else because I was just like, what the fuck? You ever find someone that literally makes you like lose all common sense, all your morals, all of that. Like, they just make you go blank and make you go stupid, and you're just like subjected to their mind control or whatever the fuck they got going on. So that's what it was. So after that, we walking back to the school, and it's me and my friend, because we were freshmen, and it's them three back there because they were juniors, because I was 14, he was 16. So she's like, well, what happened? And I'm like, we were kissing and he kissed me, and she was like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah, oh shit. Like, nigga, I really didn't know how I felt, because in that moment it was wrong, but I did it. So, you know, I'm the kind of person, you gotta own up to your shit. I did it. I kissed back. I stayed over there. I didn't put my foot down. Like, I mean, she's like, well, what you know, we talking about it, and they talking about it, and we all kind of just like, ooh. So I get into school, and I'm telling you, nigga, I'm like avoiding him at all costs, because like I feel terrible. Like, it finally hit me, because it's not like I'm heartless or something like that. It finally hit me, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, I just made out with a whole nigga who got a girlfriend. What kind of shit is that? What kind of hoe activity is that? Like, the fuck? So I'm like avoiding him. He talking to me, and she's like, well, what you gonna do? And I'm like, well, shit, nigga, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm confused. I'm just as confused as whatever. So I'm telling you, I was avoiding him, and he was trying to talk to me, and I was avoiding him. So I come out the hall, and there's nobody there, bro. I look down on my phone. I look back up, and this nigga is staring me dead in my face. This nigga is staring me dead in my face, and I'm like, hello? Because I was avoiding him, and I didn't want to be caught. And it was like, first of all, there's always somebody walking around the halls in fucking Overland. There's always a security guard, a teacher, a student, or whatever. So the fact that I'm looking down the whole entire hallway, and there's nobody in sight, there is nothing. Because this is what gets me about this. At the time, I really do think that I was just making dumb decisions, and it was just stupid. But the first thing that came out this nigga's mouth was, are you gonna tell my girlfriend? So when he asked me that, it was like, well, damn, am I gonna tell your girlfriend? Should I tell your girlfriend? Do I have to tell your girlfriend? Because, like, well, damn. So I'm like sitting there thinking, and I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm trying to process everything that happened, because at this point I got feelings for him, and I care about him, and he knows stuff about me that don't nobody else know, and stuff like that, because we built this friendship and this vibe and this connection. So he was then before I could even say anything, you know, he was like, you know, I care about you, and he was like, you my friend, and da da da, like speaking that good shit. And my dumb ass was just like sitting there listening. My dumb ass was just sitting there listening. And I was like, I'm not gonna tell her. You know, and this nigga, like, you know, gave me a hug and then just walked the fuck away. It was like something out of a movie. After we had talked and I had said I wasn't gonna tell her, gave me a hug, walked away, the fucking bell rang, and then everybody started crowding the motherfucking hallways. That day after that happened, I seen her everywhere. Everywhere she was. Because mind you, I had never seen what she looked like. I didn't know who she was. I just knew that she was there. I knew that she existed. And her friends. And I felt like that was my karma, because I was guilty as hell. That was my guilty punishment. I had to see her everywhere I go, because I decided to hold a secret for a nigga with my dumb ass. And on top of that, I did it with my dumb ass. So I had to suffer in silence. That shit was aggravating as fuck. Because mind you, after we was like kissing and doing whatever, he went and did the same shit with his girlfriend. So I was like, oh, at this point, I'm stupid, and I know I'm stupid with my dumb ass. We wind up, we're still hanging out, still kicking it, and I'm in like a funk, because like I said, I felt like my mind was just like, oh, you gonna feel this pain. So I would see them all the time, and she was always around now, and I was like, where the fuck you been? Because you didn't start showing up till this happened. So I wound up talking to a friend in the group, because I guess he, like, you know, he started randomly out of nowhere. He just kind of started talking to me, and it was cool. So they was like, yeah, you should talk to him, give him a chance. Now, I felt like this nigga was okay with it, because if I was off limits and he was off limits, then we was both off limits to each other. Okay? There could never be no in between. So me and the boys start talking and doing whatever. So fast forward to this nigga's birthday. I spent the night at my sister's house, and it was his birthday, and everybody was there, and his girlfriend was there. So fast forward to this nigga's birthday. I spent the night at my sister's house, and it was his birthday, and everybody was there, and his girlfriend was there.